Okay, so Intellectus 360 develops data analysis software, courses, and provides qualitative and quantitative training and consulting. Today, we're here to learn about Intellectus Qualitative, which we believe is the future of qualitative research, for the reasons I'll show you in a moment. So, if any of you have used legacy software, qualitative software, what you found is a steep learning curve, which definitely overwhelms novices, and maybe even data management issues, having to maintain versions just to kind of avoid data loss. So this is obviously just unacceptable. Also, other tools have tried to infuse AI, and frankly, they just failed. So what I'll show you today is a very nuanced layering in of AI in a way that makes sense and works. So that's contributed to my team and I developing IQ, or Intellectus Qualitative, and we know that it will simplify learning and the using of qualitative software. And as I say, AI is really nuanced in there. So okay, so here are 5 reasons why to choose Intellectus Qualitative. So the first one is user-friendliness. So we understand everyone's not an expert in qualitative research. You'll find that IQ is very, very intuitive, user-friendly, and simplifies everything. From automatically transcribing audio and video files in the beginning, through generating kappas without having to have a second rater. So really, from the front to the back end and everything in between, it just simplifies things very, very simply. And I'll show you that. Second, we have advanced memoing features. So this is a very unique feature that tracks when memos are created. It logs all of the coding and thematizing, creation, and it really encourages discussions about the process. It's going to, for chair people and methodologists, it's really going to allow you to delve more deeply into the cognitive process behind students' research. At the end of the day, auditability and validity are going to be proved with this memoing feature. A lot of you probably came for the AI. What's going on with this AI and how is that all working? So the third reason to choose IQ is for the coding and thematizing. Beyond manual coding and thematizing, IQ has a really state-of-the-art algorithms to assist in the naming and describing of codes and themes. This is going to reduce the bias and it enhances the validity of the research. AI also assists in the efficiency and consistency. So efficiency in processing large amounts of data much faster than manual methods, freeing up time for deeper analysis, and consistency in that the tool applies the same set of rules through the entire data set, ensuring uniformity in coding and thematizing. Fourth is this comprehensive kappa functionality that we've included here. So IQ's kappas provide advanced raterless assistance in evaluating inter-rater reliability. And there's 4 huge benefits of this. One is the speed. AI can calculate kappas much more quickly than human raters. And I'll say that when I did my dissertation 20 years ago, when I did kappas, I had to, hire 15 grad students and get them for a few Saturdays. And it took a long time to actually do that. There's certainly a cost effectiveness aspect to that eliminating human raters saves both money and time, and it's repeatable. So the AI algorithms can be run on multiple times on the same or different data sets for cross-validation, and that ensures the robustness of the findings. And finally, we have a tab called Insights. And so this helps with a clear presentation of the results. With IQ's functionality, both novices and experienced researchers will effortlessly communicate their findings, themes, codes, memos, excerpts, kappas, readily available and print ready. So there's none of this kind of having to massage and manage that. So the comprehensive overview includes, as I say, themes, codes, descriptions, It really provides a 360 view of your qualitative analysis. Quality assurance, reporting to Kappas for the whole project and each individual theme serves as a robust measure of iterative reliability, user-friendly, time efficiency. The automated collation of codes, memos, and excerpts really makes it easy to move into printing and to publishing. And then finally is the audit trail. It's a comprehensive report, particularly in the memoing list, which serves as an audit trail, demonstrating rigor and transparency in your research. So with that said, let's get to it. So IQ is web-based, so you can use it from any browser. And what I'll do is I'll start by creating a project. So I'll name the project, leadership. Can't help, sorry for the spelling. Okay. So once I get into that, now I can upload audio or video files and have it transcribed. There's a small fee for that, but it's comparable to Reverie and these other ones. You can blank transcripts, just start entering in, or I can upload text files. So I'll go ahead and upload an interview. And you can see that interview is sitting right there. So, and obviously you can upload as many as you'd like. Here is our interview. And you can do normal things, bolding and managing of that. So let's start out by doing two things. One, let's go ahead and add a code. So I'm going to name the code positive environment. All right. So that's how and I can put a description in as well. So now I've added that code, and then simply all I do is highlight the text and then just click, and now that excerpt is associated with that code. Simple as that. I can also add codes via AI. So what I would do there is highlight first, okay? Then I go to add code and AI assist. And here I have a code name that I can edit and a description of that code and simply add it. Alrighty. The next thing I'd like to do is to add themes. So I can add a theme by clicking add theme, and I'll have well-being. And I can enter a description as well. So there is the theme, and you can see the icon is slightly different than the one for the codes. And I can also add a theme via AI, and I simply go to add theme, go to AI, and then I get to select the different codes that I want to be part of that theme. And voila, positive environment, okay. And then add that. So what I can then do is associate the codes with the themes. And all I do is just drag it and drop it in, and drag it and drop it in. And then I'll just go ahead and add a memo for the moment, okay, of my process, created 2 codes and 2 themes. Okay. So that is the simplicity of adding codes, themes, and memos. That's it. And I'll just highlight or show you that in the memos, what the memo is doing is starting to log every action that happens. So I can really document my process for others to see and for you to see. And so I've uploaded the transcript, created a code, and so forth, created a theme. Alrighty. So before I go further, I think I just want to hop to the another project that has a little bit more meat in it. So here I have 4 excerpts in there. You can see that some of these have already been excerpted with codes and with themes. And we can see here that the memos have been logged in theming, coding, and memoing. We also have an excerpt view, which just shows you the excerpts. Okay. And then here is the, I'll say the smashing part of it all, which is the insights. So in insights, I can start identifying the themes. I can start generating kappas, which I'll get cranky now. I can generate the excerpt list, and I can get the memo list here. So to look at the theme description, I can go to click add, and then you can see the three themes that I've identified. So let's just say employee autonomy. And then I can select the representative excerpts that go with that. So what I have here is the theme employee autonomy. Then I have the description that I've identified for that theme. Then I have the codes and the number of codes that created or supported the creation of that theme. Then I have those supporting excerpts that I just identified. Alrighty. So, and I can do that for all the themes, right? So you can see here, professional growth, the description, the code table. By the way, that is, APA-esque. And then some excerpts. Okay, now I want to go back to the kappas for a second. So the kappas are really critical. So as I mentioned earlier, getting other raters and having varying kappa coefficients, we actually have the AI look to use the excerpts and see which theme that fits best into. And it's either an agreement or non-agreement. And then we do that a few times. And then we come up with a kappa for each of the themes, as well as the overall here. Okay. And then we cite Landis and Koch, which gives some qualitative name to the quantitative kappa. And that's it. And then we describe it down here. So the final part of this is the downloading of it. So when we download it, and it's sitting right here, and it's on the other side of my screen. Okay, so this is our output document. We have our reliability. By the way, if the reliability was not good, right? So now I have an opportunity to go back and look at the excerpts and the codes and the themes to make sure there's some coherence there. And then I have the theme description with tables, another theme, and then the excerpts. Oh, I didn't add the memoing. Oopsie. So, and then I wanted to add the memo list. And you can see here is kind of a timeline of when and what happened. Okay. That's it, folks. That's the entire Intellectus Qualitative. It's that simple. We have several other features in the works, which will further assist, but that's the simplicity of it. And I think at this moment, I will open up for questions. Let me say, so, well, let's stay there for a second. So let me just grab a few questions here. And then what I was going to mention is we also have a comprehensive competency-based course that also can accompany this tool. So this is a 20 lesson course that goes behind learning management systems. It's dirt cheap. And so just to know that that's there. Okay, so there's a course that goes with that. Okay, so let me go ahead and Melissa, I think I'll just let you put some questions to me.
Yep, there's a lot coming through. So one person asked if you could link quantitative data for mixed methods, and currently you can't link it, but we do have a quantitative tool. So if you want to show that one quickly.
Sure. So our quantitative tool has the same simplicity. So this is Intellectus Statistics, and I've uploaded a data set. You can manage it. You can have plots. But here is the cool part. So, and it's very robust, driven by R, does everything from descriptives to structural equation modeling, Preacher and Hayes mediation moderation in a very simple fashion. But let me just show you the same DNA of simplicity and presentability. So I know it's a webinar about qual, but if you indulge me for 3 seconds or 3 minutes, I'll show you. So let me just go ahead and do descriptives. And then I'm going to go ahead and just run a paired t-test. Knowledge pre to post. So for all of these tests, really we're just selecting the test, putting it into variables, hitting calculate. And this is all in APA format, APA 7. So just to share what we've done very quickly, which is for the nominal and ordinal variables, frequency and percents in an APA table, and auto-drafted summary of that. Scale variables, helpful scrollovers, summary of that. The t-test and every other test, the assumptions are built in. So you're not fussing again with this learning curve of where do I find the assumptions? What were the assumptions? They're built in. Here, the assumption is identified, the test is identified, the test is conducted, and the test is interpreted. That's very unusual. So now I know that normality is not met. The results are in plain English. Results of the t-test was significant. For those in class, showing them how to write that. And it has an interpretation. Knowledge pre was lower than knowledge post. APA table with scroll over and plots as well. Non-parametric tests, that is, examining the same pre-post, but without the assumption that non-parametric equivalent test, the Wilcoxon, is automatically run and then with figures, and then the whole thing is downloadable. So for those that are purely qual, thanks for indulging me for a moment. And for those that are mixed methods, this is certainly another, low-cost option. So here's the editable Word document, just like in the qualitative tool. So results, okay, APA tables, APA figures. We even included APA style references, and we included a curated glossary of all of the terms and symbols that for the test that we conducted for descriptives and the paired t-test and the Wilcoxon. So, all right, I'll stop there. Let me just say one other thing about that. What I want to say about that is that it also has a graduate course as well. So that about 55 lessons, you can curate it how you'd like, also behind the LMS. So I hope that I'm presenting that we have really simple tools to use, and it's rigorous and able to be presented, results in the back end, and courses to complement that. So, all right, I'll stop there and open up for questions.
We have a lot of questions about sharing, if you can share it and work together. So if you could show that piece.
I love it. So yes. So here, so if I just go to these 3 dots, I can go to share, and then I can put in email addresses of the people that are working on a project with me or faculty and so forth. So that's as simple as the sharing. When you share in the quant tool, it does a lot of things. So when I share here, I can put in lots of recipients, an email gets sent to them, I get notified that they accepted or not, they get notified and so forth. So we really want it to be, it is, a collaborative communication around the collaboration. So,
Okay.
So
and
that's the sharing aspect.
We had a few people ask if you could just go over again where AI is incorporated. Which pieces?
Sure. So it's layered into 3 pieces of it. the first piece is in when I go to code. So I am going through quickly, so my apologies. So I go to, so I want to AI code, I go to add code and go to AI assist. So this, and I appreciate you having me go back and do this. So this is a AI generated name, code name, and AI generated description based on the excerpt. That's one place. The second place that AI is in there is in the themes. So when I go to AI Assist, what I can then do is I'm going to have AI select a theme, but I want to identify the codes that are going to help create that theme. So I'm just going to randomly select some. Okay. So because not all of them are going to make sense to tie into a theme. So obviously a human is involved in this. So here are the codes that we want associated with that. It may just take a second to do that because it's looking at all of those codes and code descriptions to develop that theme and theme description. So that's the second place that AI is filtered in. The third place that AI is filtered in is in the Insights tab under the reliability analysis. Those kappas are AI generated. So as I mentioned earlier, so one, it's a big problem to go, first of all, everyone should be doing kappas, right? Just because I found a theme doesn't mean that you're going to find a theme. So, and those themes and those codes are mostly a reflection of our own biases. So when we're over here creating codes and themes, right? So that you have an unbiased way of grabbing codes and associating codes to themes. Likewise, with the kappa analysis, we have AI, again, which is not biased, but is taking our, it's got the world's knowledge. So, but so whether that's biased or not. So it's looking at the excerpts. So you have a theme on one side and the codes and description of the theme. So, and then we have excerpts that are associated with those codes and themes. What the AI is doing is it's looking at those excerpts and saying, where do those excerpts best fit relative to those themes and theme descriptions? Does it belong in employee autonomy? Does it better work in employee well-being or professional growth? So it's either going to agree or not. So that's where the AI is doing its work. And then what we found is that just like human raters, people are going to be different with their sense of agreeing or not agreeing. So otherwise we would just have one rater. So, but in my case, I had 15 raters doing inter-rater reliability and associated notes. So here we've done that process and then we do it 3 times and we kind of bring forward the average of what those kappas are to give you some sense of, hey, professional growth is really doing pretty well. Substantial agreement. The other ones, not as well, right? So fair agreement. So we might want to then go back and look very carefully at the excerpts that we associated. So it's helping us, like AI is supposed to do. It's helping us make sure that the excerpts go together with the codes and code descriptions, and that those codes and code descriptions, harmonize with the theme. So that's the information that that's giving us. So those are the 3 ways. AI codes, AI themes, and AI kappas. Good question. Other questions?
We have a lot of questions about cost and access, and I put my email address in there. Please feel free to email me. We can set up trials, and go ahead.
Well, I mean, so maybe it's time to go to, so I think we should talk about costs. No?
Sure.
So let me just go right here. So the cost for the tool is about $180, $160 annually. That's one piece of it. We are offering a 20% discount to pre-order. It will be out a week from today. So 20% discount on that. I think it brings it to $130 or something. intellectusqualitative.com/pre-order. And then departments, and you can also get a free trial by contacting Melissa. You can review the courses, the lessons in the course rather. And they're substantially discounted once a department comes on. So, I mean, I think it's fair to say somewhere in the $50 to $70 range is the, for 50, students and faculty, somewhere in that ballpark. But we can certainly do customized, demonstrations for you, give you trials, and then discuss, the size of your department or institution.
Okay. We have a couple questions about the course. One is, can it go behind Canvas? Yes. It can go behind Canvas or any LMS that you have.
Even if it's a proprietary LMS.
Right. And then someone asked if the cost included the collaboration feature. Yes, everything you see is included. There's no extra cost for that.
The collaboration fee? Oh, you mean the sharing
The
feature?
sharing, yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that we really started with Intellectus Statistics, and we're moving to Intellectus Qualitative, is I always felt like I was being nickeled and dimed for like categories and these other things. And I need, survival guides and, 50 lessons. That didn't make sense to my brain. Most people doing research once or a few times. And if you take it with you into business, great. Or into your nonprofits, great. So, but we don't add other things. So as we add other tests into quant, we're not upcharging. Like we had a power analysis. You don't have to pay for additional power analysis to figure out your sample size. So we everything we see is included. The course is different, but again, I think it's $8 more or something like that per user. You can't even rent a textbook for that. So it's we made it very affordable. Other questions?
We have a lot of questions about data privacy and security. So I will put our data privacy and security link in the chat so that can address all of them.
Right. So we use encryption end to end through Amazon servers and the so yeah. Privacy data to us is like gold or diamonds. Okay, it should be very, very secure. So us and Amazon appreciate that and have taken lots of steps to ensure that. Very important. Other questions? That's a good question.
There are a lot coming in and we're working on answering them.
Okay. Do you have any for me?
Yeah. If you can go back and show this, how to add a sub-theme. We've had a couple questions about that.
Sure. So again, we've sought to make this incredibly simple. So I have some unassigned codes here. So all I do is drag that code into the theme that I want, and it's in there. Oh, so I can just drag the codes into the theme, and you can see this kind of indented a bit. There you are.
We have
very user-friendly.
A question if you can use the insights document to assist with writing your manuscript.
That's the intention. The intention is to download that document, not be fussing with tables and table numbering and interpretation too much. So yeah, that is the intention of the Insights doc on the IQ and for intellectual statistics. That downloaded document is to be edited and put into a results chapter or journal article. So yes, that's exactly the intention. By the way, I will say, and I didn't know I was going to bring this up, but I will. So this is called, for all of you young folks, this is called a punch card. This is what we used to have to program with, like, a stack of these things and then wait in line, and the output was terrible. I have that history. So we made sure that everything was in an editable Word document rather than sitting, waiting in line and having this raw output. Didn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So, yeah. So we've learned some lessons over the 40 years. Other questions about the tool, about the quantitative tool, about the courses? I'm sure you're getting a lot.
There are a lot, and I'm trying to answer them as we can. And if we don't get to your question, because some of them are a bit more technical about exactly how the AI works and the algorithms and all of that.
Oh, I'm sure they want that.
We'll keep your questions and get back to you.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, we'll just download that.
Right.
Other final questions about the tool or the course or aspects of this?
Some people are asking if they can build a coding system and then just let AI code for you. And no, we want you to look at it. The AI can assist you, but we definitely want you to look at what the output is from the AI and make sure that that's right for you.
Right. So the process, so just to elaborate on that, so the process should be that even if you've done the interviews yourself, you need to read it and reread it. And while you're doing that, start memoing your process. Here's some ideas. Here's how I'm planning on doing it. Here's some things that seem interesting. So you want to be grounded in this thing. Then you want to go through, and as opposed to just having this whole thing go through it, I mean, you can do that with, OpenAI. We wanted a more nuanced take on it, which was, look, we want to make sure that this is of interest to you, right? That speaks to you in terms of your research question, right? So, and then develop codes based on that and themes based on code. So that's kind of the process. Then we have one other piece coming down the pike, which will help you better put it all together. There'll be no additional charge for our additions to it.
And then we have more questions about the sharing feature. One question from Susan is, if two or more people are working on it, are they working on the same document? Or how do they merge? Yes, they are working on the same document. So you'll be able to see their codes, they'll be able to see yours. And then another question about that is compatibility with Windows and Mac.
So it's agnostic with respect to the Mac, or as long as you have a browser, you're good to go.
Another question.
I know in the quantitative, that was a problem, that I had to have the software just for Macs or just for IBMs. We've just eliminated that problem.
Another question is, what happens with updates once they purchase?
So fortunately, we will never charge you for updates. So we will just push the update and you'll be getting updates, but we're just going to push that update and everyone will get it. So, and there won't be charges for it. So there's no loss of data like I began with that. Sometimes there's data loss because you don't have the right version. Well, that's just not going to happen with IS or IQ, period.
We have a question about, are there any studies published with your software? It hasn't been released yet. With the quantitative software, yes. With
the quantitative, so that's what we're talking about. But Trust me, this is it's not going to take long. If you look at this is the statistics software, and if you just go to the published works, here's all the peer-reviewed journals that use Intellectus statistics, and it goes on and on and on, and then lots of dissertations. You can see that, okay, and we haven't even put them all in. So yeah, when you check back in a year, the qualitative will overwhelm this quantitative, no doubt about it. It's just easy to use. A lot of people doing qual, and it's accessible. Yeah. So not yet, but it makes me want to make a. But it does make me want to make a plug for that time limited offer of a 20% discount. So it's down to like $130 for the year. So, and then get publishing and let us, and then we'll know about it.
We have a question about might the insights document be flagged as plagiarism?
So let's talk about that. So what is in the insights document? Well, what's in the insights document? Well, okay, so this phrase, okay, will be published with Turnitin. So for sure, you need to, anything that's templatized, ditto with the quant. So you'll have to put that in your own voice. You'll have to put that in your own voice. But obviously, this is fair game. Your kappas are original to you. And then this is going to be specific to your theme and to your resulting kappa. So that's the kappa part. So yes, put that in your own voice. With regards to the themes, the description, the codes, the table, the excerpts, those are yours. Those are yours that you've created. So there's no problem. Excerpts, those are yours. You created those from those interviews. And then the memo list is just your memo list. So I guess the short answer is no. I'll be save for the first and the templatized paragraphs, but everything else is original. So fair question. Other great questions.
Going through them. Sorry about that. We have a few people that want to know specifically how this is different from maybe max QDA or in vivo.
You know, I have to tell you the truth that I didn't really spend a lot of time with competitors, and same thing with the quantitative software. I mean, I'd used SPSS for 30 years, and I had done qualitative research, but I didn't. But I didn't drill in. I didn't. So I guess there's ways of going about development, but we didn't spend a lot of time about, hey, you know what are they doing well? What are they doing poorly? We just wanted to come out with an original, simple. The DNA of our company is simplicity and presentability. So we just wanted to present a user-friendly tool from novices to experts to organize your data, code, theme, assess integrity, reliability, track your process through the memoing. So I don't have the answer to that. I don't know. I believe that they're more complicated just from quick glances at it. So, I mean, if it's any reflection of when we did, I mean, I did go in when we were creating intellectual statistics, we have some drop downs, but other people had 300 drop downs. So I can't speak to it directly, but I'm assuming this is much, much more simple. And we have, had some other folks at large institutions look at this and every other tool, and they're like, we want to be your customer. We want this. So I can't speak to what they're really doing, but from some anecdotal evidence from people that have been around for 4 decades and saw every other tool because they all pitched to them, they like this the best.
There's a question about different types of methodologies. Can your software work with different types of methodologies? For example, grounded theory versus more generic qualitative thematic coding?
Yeah, I mean, this really speaks. I know lots of different kinds of that there are. Let me just go back over here. There are different studies. So, I mean, this to the extent that you're coding and thematizing, and if those fold into your approach, then yay. But is it doing the other things of, having a representative example of the excerpt, and things of that sort? Not as much. So it's mostly kind of this coding theming, which covers lots and lots of ground.
We have questions about the types of data that can be uploaded. Someone asked if they could upload from Qualtrics.
So, so this is, let me go back here. So after I create a project, okay. New. So, by the way, I should mention, you can also put in your purpose statement and research questions here when you create a new project. That's an important aspect of this nuanced AI piece. We want to look at context. So, new project. So you can upload different data files. I believe we can open up PDF and certainly Word documents. I don't believe we can open up Excel files. So it depends how it's presented. So really, basically, you want Word files. So if Qualtrics, I don't know how I know about quantitatively, you can download an Excel file, but you want to put any narrative responses in a Word document and then upload that. And then, as I say, you can upload audio files or video files, or you can just copy and paste. Start here. Okay. Your own file in here. So those are the formats. So Word files, audio files, video files, paste in your own document here.
And then about the types of files that get exported. So your insights document will
Is it an editable Word document?
Right.
Right.
And then, questions about how to cite it.
We will have references in the insights document. We will cite Landis and Koch, and then we'll cite Intellectus Qualitative as well. So you'll have that reference before you get the tool.
Other questions about what's included in the course. If you could just go to that, I think people can see the different study designs that are covered.
Right.
I'll answer a few questions here.
And most of the course is agnostic to Intellectus Qualitative, except for lesson 17, which talks about using the tool, but you saw the simplicity of it. So introduction, case study. And again, this is all competency based. So there's quizzes, narrative, phenomenological, ethnography, and then here's some of the other topics. Lessons, I should say.
Questions about how it works with your LMS. For the course, we will send you files to upload behind your LMS, and we'll work with you if you don't have an LMS admin or anything like that to make sure that the course is functioning properly. To access the tool, we can work with your IT team to set up single sign-on. And if you want to, go ahead.
And I should say, we've been 100% successful in doing that. So we've worked with ITs or faculty to make it happen. So just to say that it's a sure shot, but no problem, zero problem. Sometimes getting the IT folks, because they're busy folks, but once we have retention, we're good to go.
And we have other questions about if you purchase onboarding training, we provide all of that.
Yep. So faculty will get free training. because we want to empower faculty or administrators who then are empowering students or developing reports for their internal use. And then students, we'll have some videos, but again, you saw how quick and easy this is. It's, it's not rocket science here.
And we have a few questions about integration, if it integrates with the quantitative tool. Right now, it's not.
It's not, but we have ideas with our programmer, so we'll get there. Stay tuned. Because I know that there's a lot of quantitative analyses that have a few open-ended questions, right? So it would be nice to have that feature tagged on without having to go to a different tool. So that's coming. Other questions? Good questions. Great questions.
I'm scrolling through and trying to merge them
together. That's fine. I know it's tough when you have this size.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite large.
A lot of people are asking if they can build a code book and have the AI go in and automatically code all of their transcripts.
Yeah,
we're that briefly, but
but there are some cases where there's a priori themes. We're getting there. Stay tuned. There is two broad features coming out. That is one of them where I'm looking for particular words, and then I'll be able to select. So I'll have to go back and read them to select to see if I want to code them or not in context. So that's coming. That is coming. We were just excited to get this to you. That it's useful now, and that's en route. Other questions? A lot of questions. I know. Is it? I'll answer some of these. So is it HIPAA compliant? It's not. So I would de-identify the data. Okay, right. So de-identify the data. Which AI generative models are you using to generate the themes and codes? Some of it's secret sauce. We've spent some time. We did not just clobber this thing with AI. So some of it is secret sauce, and the idea of you looking and when you select a passage, right? When you select a passage, and it creates a code and a description that's got to make sense to your brain. So that's an important part of it. So that has to hang together. That has to be relevant. The code and description has to be relevant to the excerpt, and all three need to be related to some aspect of your research question. So, whose code is it? We've created our own code. We've created our own algorithms, proprietary algorithms to do what we think is the very best job at creating codes and code descriptions. It took some doing. How much text can be analyzed at once? I know that we cannot put in like pages and pages. Again, I would probably dissuade you from doing that. So I think the question is off, frankly, that if you want to just throw something in, then go to chat and just throw it in there. I don't think that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to accomplish, support to you making your own codes and then AI codes bit by bit, rather than just some kind of gross, let's just look at the whole thing and what themes come up, and some of it's garbage and some of that's not the approach we're taking here. It's a much more nuanced approach. So again, the question just strikes me as that's not our tool. What is the assurance that Intellectus provides the data upload for the analysis is burned after the project has been completed? We'll put that in terms of agreement. We'll make sure that's in there. Marlon's answering it. Okay. And I think it's dumped after within 30 days or after 30 days, but Marlon can speak to that. Do you have a template of the methods section for a publication? Not offhand. Are data uploaded kept by Intellectus to further improve and refine? That's a really great question. No, we don't. We don't. But that is interesting. Given one of the applications of a qualitative approach to investigate phenomena that little description in the research literature, how useful is AI aspect? Well, I mean, we're looking at, I'm not sure I fully get your question. How useful is AI when you don't have a great description in there? I would say, try it, see if it makes sense to you. Publishing will happen. Could you also show how sharing work? We talked about that. What safeguards are in place for loading transcripts onto web-based platforms? So first of all, you should de-identify things, right? So you shouldn't say Joe Jones at this address with this BMI or this, medical illness or whatever. So I would just, be de-identify. What are the intellectual property rights? If it's not in our terms of agreement, we'll have it in there that we don't want your data at all. We want to provide good courses to learn how to do qualitative research, good tools to do qualitative research, and to do it simply and rigorously. So we have no desire for anyone's. Okay. How is the tool different from these other ones? Yeah, I'm not sure. Regarding transcriptions, how is IRB confidentiality addressed? So I think I would say that I'm de-identifying the data. And so, you can collect, and there's anonymity and confidentiality, right? So if you collect things anonymously, I think you're probably okay. And if it's confidential, you want to de-identify it before putting it on any platform. By the way, most people, Qualtrics is also web-based, right? So that data is coming through. So, data does move around, but I would have it de-identified. Will the kappa calculation take into account multiple coders? So we've taken that into account already by when we run the kappa, let's just say for employee autonomy, okay? We run that by, again, marrying the excerpts with the theme and theme description. But then we do that again, and then we do that again, and then we average that kappa. So with respect to the AI aspect of kappa, we're trying to account for, as different raters would also have different kappas. So you can have your own. I mean, hopefully, well, you'll either have your own raters, which is fine, or you'll have this, or you'll have both. You should do one of them. And and there's been a lot of projects though that, because it's so arduous to get additional raters to assess inter-rater reliability, I found a theme, but can other people that don't have my biases find a theme? It's an important piece, very important piece. How do AI actually work as far as generating codes and themes? Again, some of it's secret sauce, and you'll be doing the reading of it and making sure that it makes sense to your brain. I went rather quickly. What is the role of AI in plain encoding? Again, it's doing you can code manually, or you can have AI assisted code by identifying, I would say, a short excerpt. All right. I'll take two more questions and I think we'll wrap it up. Is that okay, Melissa?
Yep.
Which large language model? There's a few of them. We're going to be agnostic about that. And then the last one, choice of formats besides APA. At the moment, no. We don't even, the Intellectus statistics, we would say, is definitely output in APA 7. We have not come forward to say that this output from Insights it's APA-esque, but but it's an editable Word document, so that you can edit it into AMA. So I think we'll stop there, if that's okay. Certainly feel free to email Melissa with any questions. Again, if you want a trial, if you'd like to purchase, you can go down here for a discount. You can go to the website to look at the course more deeply. You can always call us. And I want to say thank you to everyone who's taken time to learn about our tool and how we've really sought to make a simple tool that has some AI laid into it that can support you in your work. And my only request would be tell 3 other people. All right. So people don't know about this, and I appreciate your time, and please share it with others. And thank you all so much. And it was my joy to present this to you all. So thank you so much.